5 ballerinas and their instructor travel to Hungary, where they're set to perform at a major international competition. But their bus breaks down in the middle of a forest, leaving the girls no choice but to hike to the nearest town and spend the night in a sketchy place called Terramok. With little understanding of where they've ended up or how things work in this part of the world, they quickly run afoul of a local crime boss, and before long, death warrants are practically being written for them. At one point in the story, one of the girls has slipped drugs and starts having intense hallucinations. She sees vampires, feels watched by statues, and believes there are hidden passages in the walls. Watching Pretty Lethal can feel like a similar kind of bizarre trip. The film starts off as a fairly grounded drama about ballerinas, but gradually slips into increasingly phantasmagorical territory, eventually exploding into outright surrealism by the finale. If you were to jump in near the end, where a one-legged Uma Thurman wearing a tutu and white face makeup threatens to blow everything to hell, you might think you'd stumbled onto some kind of AI-generated fever dream. And yet, Pretty Lethal is a fully realized film, cohesive in its own strange way and even at times kind of brilliant. Screenwriter Kate Freund and director Vecky Jewson made the film with 87 North Productions, the company led by former stuntman David Leitch, co-creator of John Wick, and one of the key figures behind the rise of modern hand-to-hand action in Western cinema. Jewson and Freund wanted to show ballet from an unexpected angle, not just as a test of character, but of physical endurance. Together with Leitch's team, they developed an action style they dubbed ballet fou, blending elegant ballet movements with lethal combat techniques. A great fight scene is always a kind of dance. Pretty Lethal simply takes that idea to its extreme. The climactic sequence in which 5 girls dressed as little swans take down a crowd of hulking thugs is both completely absurd and disarmingly beautiful, and thankfully, very funny. Dark humor and wit act as the film's life raft, bringing it closer in spirit to the brilliantly kitschy Eurotrip. It tells a serious story but constantly winks at the audience, urging you not to take things at face value. Western cinema has long portrayed Eastern Europe as a land of unwashed savages where somehow everyone still speaks English, even to each other, and you have to factor that into the experience. The danger facing the protagonists is real, but it's resolved in a comic book fashion. Untrained girls suddenly unlock fighting skills out of nowhere, and victory comes from joining hands and declaring, "We're a team." Naturally, the film also carries a feminist message. These days, that's almost a requirement. But here it feels relatively organic. Stories like this have a long lineage. You could, for instance, recall the slasher Deadly Games, where a group of young women is hunted through the woods, and Pretty Lethal follows similar genre rules, though it wisely avoids sliding into outright exploitation. It also boasts an unexpectedly eclectic cast. The lead ballerinas are played by the deaf actress from A Quiet Place, the Asian star from the To All the Boys I've Loved Before rom-com series, the Indian actress from the Mean Girls remake, the daughter of Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann, and the grown-up dancer from Sia's iconic music videos. It's a deeply charming ensemble, and somehow everything clicks. The tense plot, the sharp humor, the bloody action, and a dance of the little swans, performed with blades hidden in ballet shoes as a kind of catharsis.